My parents are honestly so disappointed in my career choices right now. We had this huge family dinner, and they spent 20 minutes begging me to go back to university. They want me to study high finance, get a serious degree in finance. I just looked them dead in the eye and told them it wasn't necessary. They asked why, so I told them, I've got a fine ass already. I think cops are hot, especially female cops. There is just something about the uniform. But I definitely took it too far. I got arrested last night for indecent exposure. This officer walks up, aviator glasses, looking stern, and says that classic line, "Ma'am, anything you say can and will be held against you." My brain short-circuited. I just looked her in the eyes and screamed, "Boobs!" I just set up the new 4K projector in the van for a movie night. I threw on Empire Strikes Back. Classic, right? But the quality was so crisp it got me thinking. Like, what did Yoda actually say the very first time he saw himself in high definition? HDMI? I've been doing some independent research on chemistry in the back of the van. I was reading this medical journal about drug interactions, don't ask why, and I found something wild. Did you know there is a very specific, verified chemical reaction when you mix LSD directly with birth control pills? Scientists call it a trip without kids. My family actually has a weird, verified history with world records. We don't really talk about it at Thanksgiving, but my dad is legendary. Like, his member was actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for a solid minute back in the 90s. At least, it was until the librarian told him to take it out. I was scrolling through anonymous confessions online, and I found one that literally made me drop my phone. This girl posted, "I have a terrible secret. Sometimes, when the family is all together for the holidays, I hook up with my stepbrother in the hotel elevator." The top comment underneath just said, I know. It's wrong on so many levels." I learned a dark lesson about food preservation today while organizing my pantry. I was live streaming my breakfast, and the chat started fighting about condiments. I tried to be the peacemaker and explain the technical difference between jam and jelly. But honestly, there is really only one difference that matters. You can't jelly a child into a briefcase. Everybody loves archaeologists, right? I mean, Ross Geller? Come on. But I have absolutely zero chill when it comes to dating smart guys. I was on a date with this guy who wouldn't stop talking about his dig sites. So I thought, I know how to spice this up. If you ever really want to embarrass an archaeologist, just hand them a used tampon. And ask them, which period is it from? I finally binged all the Harry Potter movies last night because I had no Wi-Fi. It was a great marathon, honestly, but as I'm watching, I realize the magic isn't even the most unrealistic part. Flying brooms? Sure. Dragons? Fine. The most unrealistic part is that the ginger kid had 2 friends. Modern dating is absolutely brutal. I don't know how you guys survive it. We were at brunch, and my guy friend was venting about this girl he's seeing. He was so frustrated because apparently she just refuses to go down on him. I was trying to be supportive, so I asked him what he calls a girl like that. He didn't even hesitate. He said, an Uber. I absolutely hate being interrupted when I'm speaking. It is my biggest pet peeve. I was ranting about this to my chat, saying, nobody likes being cut off. But then I realized I was wrong. There is actually one specific type of person who never minds being interrupted in the middle of a sentence. A convict. Van life hygiene hacks are getting weird out here, but I think I found the winner. I met this amateur astronomer at the campsite last night. Nice guy, but he literally hangs raw steaks in his shower stall. I stared at him for like 5 minutes before I finally asked him why he was doing that. He looked up at the sky and said he wanted a meteor shower. I have a serious biology question for you guys. It's been keeping me up all night. I was watching this documentary about cephalopods, and it got me thinking about their nervous systems. Like, hypothetically, if you were to swim down and tickle an octopus, precisely how many tickles does it actually take to make it laugh? 10 tickles? Communication is key in relationships, guys. If you aren't clear, things get expensive. My favorite lesbian couple, who are absolute goals, by the way, bought me a solid gold Rolex for my birthday. It's beautiful, but I was staring at it in total confusion. I felt so bad because it must have cost a fortune. But I distinctly remember telling them, I just want to watch. I have a serious question about inclusivity in extreme sports, because I don't think we've thought this through. My best friend called me yesterday, super excited. She wants to take her blind cousin skydiving for his 21st birthday. She was listing all the reasons why it's empowering, but I had to stop her. I told her it was a terrible, terrible idea. She asked why, and I said, it scares the shit out of the dog. Share and subscribe. You know you wanna.